I was just reading a story about how like Monta Ellis was at the game with his
Oh
kid,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Him and
his
his wife.
Steph,
Yeah.
yeah, like Steph would catch up. Like, when did they get cool? Because like they ran him out to clear the way for Steph, right? Like
Right.
because they weren't coexisting all that well, right?
It was that is one of the weird relationships. Steph used to admire Monte so much. I don't think Monte
Before he played with him, right?
no, like while he
Or
played with them,
when he
like
was
Steph, I'll never forget this. Steph looked because Monte, the first day of training camp was media day, and that's where everybody used to sit at a table. Monte comes out was like, can't win with him, can't win with two little guards. I mean, he basically was like, yeah, we can't win together. You can't win like that. Like Steph's first day, we like,
yeah, that's what I remember.
but Steph was like, all right, I'm about to win him over, right? Like that's the
Right.
Steph thing. Like I'm going to
That's
win
what
Monte
Steph
over.
does, right?
Yeah, like, literally, he was not. He was like, okay, I'm gonna win Monte over, and I think he did end up winning Monte over. There was a period because Monte's real beef was with Don Nelson. That's what his beef was with. His beef was with Don Nelson and the Warriors. Because remember the Warriors when he lied about the moped and busted up his ankle,
Right,
said it was
right.
basketball, and then
Right,
And he's mad at Nelly for that?
he was mad at the organization for that because like they were essentially saying we reserve the right to void your contract because he had just signed the contract. So he was like, void it or not, like pick a side.
Like
65 million,
Yeah,
yeah.
11. It was like 66. 6 years, 66 million.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I remember that number. It was an exorbitant contract at the time.
They were like, if you come back, we're gonna hold it over your head. We're gonna see how you look first. And he didn't like that. He was like, either void it or don't. But like, don't make me sit like this. But then Nelly was always on his case about, being professional and all that. Him and Nelly just clashed from style of play. Nelly likes a certain type of player. Monte didn't really fit it. I mean, it's tough. Like Steve Nash he was from Steve Nash and Baron Davis to Monte. Just a different type of player. But there was a stretch where Monte was like out for a minute. And Nelly was like, here, Steph, this is your team now. And Steph went nuts. I mean, absolutely nuts. He was like dropping triple doubles. Like he almost like took rookie of the year from Tyreek Evans. Like he was on one. And then I think after that, Monte was like, okay, this dude's pretty good. And then they were cool after that. And I remember the moment Steph was very happy because they used to do this thing where, you come in and you slap the hands of the guy you coming in for.
Right.
And when Monte would finally like slap his hand, because Monte would just walk. He coming out the game. He mad. He ain't no high fives. Then he goes to the bench. He came out the game and he slapped Steph's hand. Steph, I'm sitting courtside. Steph looked at me. It was like, I told you I was gonna get him. I told you his mission was to win him over. Like he it was his vet. Like it was the guy he came into the league with, right? Because before that, remember, it was Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson asked for a trade, like he signed a 3-year extension, and then asked for a trade like the 5 games into the season, and then they traded him. Like Steven Jackson fleeced this dude. Like he had 2 years, he got a 3-year extension, and then demanded the trade. It's one of the great hustles of all time, and was calling the shot before he was gonna do it. Like, I'm about to get me an extension. We like, why would you extend? You got 2 years left, and he got him an extension, 5 years, like, and then was like, yeah, I don't want to be here no more. I'm out. It's one of the most gangster moves I've ever seen.
I love this league so much.
So just when Monte and Steph were cool, and then they got Monte up out of there.
Yep.
And that's why the fans were booing Lake up that time at the Mullen party, right? Because they were mad because
a lot of it
Monte was beloved. It's funny to think like it's unimaginable now, right, Marcus, that Monte was the more beloved between him and Steph at the time, just because Steph didn't have any equity.
You got to understand, like as a Warriors fan, it's like you were saying about Chicago, like with the Warriors fan, you didn't have to beat the guys, but man, just for one game, go out and play with the best dudes in the league. Like just go be it. That's why Jason Richardson is one of the most beloved players in Warriors history. Like when Jay Rich comes, people go crazy because Jay Rich, for 6-7 years, however long he was there, he wasn't better than Kobe. But he can go get 25 with him. Like Kobe go get 35 and win the game. But Jay Rich was out there with him. And that's all you wanted as a Warrior fan. That's what Monte was. Monte's like, yo, I'm about to go get 30. Like, I'm not going to play no defense and we ain't going to win. But I'm going to get 30. And people love Monte. He was exciting too.